Correspondent James Matthews is in New York and joins me now. And I gather Mamdani has been speaking in the last hour or so.
Hi, Mark. Yeah, held a news conference here just in the shadow of the unifying sculpture, which you can see behind me, symbolises the earth. Appropriate, I suppose, for the man who would feel he has the world at his feet today in New York. He reached across society with this left-wing democratic socialist political offering, reeled in Republicans in doing so, and also, Mark, crucially, increased his vote in key communities in terms of US politics and winning elections. The black community, the Latino community, perhaps in response to what they've seen from Donald Trump, a hardening of immigration policy, ICE raids, and so on. But Mamdani, he seems to have found the formula that has been missing from the Democratic Party's offering. I spoke to him, had a question, which was interesting on a number of levels, actually. Mark, he spoke football, he spoke Sky Sports News, transfer deadline. He is a fan of a London football club, not your beloved Chelsea, I have to tell you, Mark, but have a listen to him. James Matthews from Sky News, Mr. Mamdani. Tell me, what do you think the lesson is of your victory for the Democratic Party and for Donald Trump?
Well, first, I just have to say I've spent many days in my youth watching the transfer window close, final hours on Sky News, so it's a pleasure to have you
What's
here.
your team? What's your team?
I'm an Arsenal fan.
Arsenal fan, okay.
I have to be honest, when you said you were from Sky News, I just got very excited. Could you repeat the question one more time?
Tell me, what do you think the lesson is of your victory last night for the Democratic Party, your party, which has been slow to endorse you and to embrace you? And what's the lesson for Donald Trump?
I think the lesson for the president is that it's not enough to diagnose the crisis in working class Americans' lives. You have to deliver on addressing that crisis. This is a president who ran a campaign on the promise of cheaper groceries, and now, as was said by one of our co-chairs, has gone so far as to cut SNAP benefits for close to 2 million New Yorkers. Someone who is literally making it harder to afford those same groceries whose price he was decrying not that long ago. And what scares Republicans across the country is the fact that we will actually deliver on this agenda. And the contrast is something that they cannot bear to witness. And I try to keep my focus similar to that cover on the New Yorker where the world ends at New Jersey, and thinking about what this means for our city instead of for our nation. And I will tell you that for our city, what left me with such great hope last night were the stories from so many New Yorkers who had never voted before, who had lost hope in politics years ago. And to stand here before you, having received over 1 million votes in an election that saw turnout the likes of which we haven't seen since 1969, it shows that politics, once again, is offering more than just a settling for the crumbs that are not able to meet the needs of so many families across the city. We are finally offering a vision that can meet the scale of the crisis in working class New Yorkers' lives.
Zohran Mamdani celebrating his victory there, Mark. As I said in my question, the Democratic establishment, more moderate than he is, has been slow to back him. They don't see him as a politician whose politics can win nationwide, can win in Middle America, which is where the election will be won and lost in 2028. So now I suppose they have to reach some kind of accommodation with the man, who has found the winning formula. They will have to accommodate him, harness his support and success, which I have to say has electrified New York. You just have to look at the turnout figures and the breadth of support across New York society. So a conversation clearly for the Democratic Party to have with itself, a party which has been stuck in neutral for so long. Supporters of Mamdani reckon that he is the man who has found gear at last.
Yeah, well, he was a smooth talker for an Arsenal fan. James, thank you very much indeed.